Hello everyone and welcome to this how to paint a Plaguemarine from the new V8 box set for Warhammer. Thanks again to the WOG for supporting this video by the donation of a complete box. Thank you all as well, and don't hesitate to join me on Patreon to support the channel. This mini was primed with the Army Green primer from Army Painter. Matte earth was used for all the brown, and weapon bronze for all the bronze areas. I will then start with the airbrush. As usual, I mix my paint by bubbling it. You can see other videos on the subject if you want more details. There I bubble my flesh 2 color for it to be thinned and evenly mixed. I test it on my hand and then it's ready to be used on the mini. As you can see, I'm laying my lights on the fabric for them to stand out. You want to be careful to not insist too much on the first pass when using the airbrush. You can see that I wait a bit for the paint to dry before coming back. I turn the mini. That way the paint is less opaque and a bit less intense. You need to proceed like that, otherwise the paint you lay down might be ripped off by the air of the next layer. We then use sienna earth to come back on the zone we worked on to add some shadows. Don't hesitate to insist on the extremity of the spikes, for example, to give the mini a more feral look. Again, thank you to the Walk Tavern. It is located in Paris. Don't hesitate to give them a visit. Their store is very nice. You can play 40k, fantasy, Dracarys, Eden, and all the range we enjoy. There, I come back to boost my shadows to have a very opaque finish. I then come back with black, pure black. You can also do it with a coffee brown, or even do a coffee brown, then black, but there I use black straight away to not waste much time. Feel free also to follow me on Facebook. For example, this video was live streamed there and was way longer before editing, something like an hour for 2 hours. So come join me on Facebook if you really want to see all the steps being done and follow me live. I come back with a highly thin red that I will lay down quite aggressively on all the eerie flesh area that are scattered across this Plaguemarine. Then I will come back with dark tone from Army Painter that let me darken all the zones that are a bit too visible for my taste. For example, the feet, the shoulder-head intersection, and metals as well. This is to crush a bit the light on them and let other areas stand out a bit more. I also do it on the back of his backpack, as you can see there. So there is how the marine looks like after the ink is laid down. There I start working again when the ink is a bit drier. I use an olive green from Valero. Prince Augustin French. I come and push this green on the zone where I want a strong light. So don't apply it everywhere. As per usual, push the paint towards the light. I'm using still the same brush, which is a Raphael 8404, and the paint is thinned down to a milky consistency. I push the paint where the light needs to be the stronger, just as usual. I will do that gesture several times and limit the zone each pass to have more intensity towards the top of the highlight. There, I insist a bit more and come back with the original green. This is done to create a nicer transition. The base green is the army green from Army Painter, as stated before. Then I keep on laying down my highlights in order to boost the green even more. I come back with some more dark tone to darken the recesses this time, and also again all the zones that have a bit less interest or that I want to give a bit less interest in the final piece. This is done to create volume and have some strong shadows and have them a bit more stand out. I then come back with my yellowish green to push it on the light just as before, and then coming back with a darker green to establish a transition and stronger shadows as well. Never hesitate to rinse and repeat each step depending on what you want the final results to be. Now I will use some turquoise with just a hint of white. The turquoise is from Procolor to paint the wings of the fly to have it stand out from the horn that it's kind of stuck to. Once this is done, I grab some black. I could, for example, use dark sea blue, but the aim there is to have a nice result fast, so I use black straight away and it gives a nice definition. This step can seem a bit tedious, but it is very important to get a clean finish. After this, I come back with a bit of turquoise with a hint of black this time, knowing that I will straight back to have the wings stand up as very bright against the black aspect of the fly. There I come back with a bit of white in my green to boost the lights. This is done to have some light spots that will give a good intensity to the green. A bit more life as well to the mini will be infused that way. It's a question of repetition and choosing where the light will be stronger. Never hesitate to have your light stand out, like really stand out. Once this is over, I use pure ivory to highlight the fabric and the clothes. But it will also be used to boost the skin and the green. I come back now with my base color for the fabric to create a nicer transition with the ivory I just laid down. I then come with ivory mixed in to add some light on the fabric as well. So this is base color plus ivory. Then I use again pure ivory on the edges of the clothes to have it stand out from the mini. It's quite a prominent zone, so it's quite important to have it stand out. There you saw I corrected a mistake straight away with my finger. Do not hesitate to do that, as it might take ages to correct otherwise. I come back and boost my reds because they got a bit crushed by the other steps. I wanted them to be stronger. I come back with both red and brown as well on the recesses of the green to give it more volume and a bit more life as well. Gives a nice volume to the whole mini. I then come back with light flesh For example, base flesh from Valero range or elf flesh from the Citadel range is those are both solid choices. Sorry. This color will be a nice little highlight. The eye will be a focal point, so I try to focus on it a bit to have it stand out. Then again, it's all a question of standing out. There I start oxidizing the metal by passing a juice of carapace green. I think similar to the old scaly green of Games Workshop. This paint is a Valero one, as it's no longer sold by Games. When the first layers are done, I come back with some ivory added to the juice and restrict the work area to give a bit more realism to the whole effect. Don't forget to restrict the area you work on. This gives a nice effect. This lets the effects set in the recesses and creates a fair degree effects, a credible fair degree effect, I might add. There you can see where we are at the moment. I come back with pure ivory again to boost the skin. I feather the light in the zones I want by tapping the brush a bit. Keep in mind the paint is thinned, as always, to a milky consistency. I'll always work with that. I also come back on the horns, and because I want my light zones to be very, very strong. I also come back the weathered zone, sorry, but always work with a more limited area, always, because you don't want to mess the effect you've done, but you want to further it. So you want to focus it towards the crevices of the metal, just like so. I then come back with ivory to highlight the clothes and have it stand out even more. So focus on the edges and all the zones that's important for it to be very, very visual. This miniature and the others will be on display in the Warp Tavern in Paris. Because before you ask, I do plan on finishing the box set. Yes, the idea is to add the video to the display when they are done. Come back with some more ivory to boost lights again. I also use a reddish brown to create a transition between the white and the black of the horn. This gives a nice transition. Again, I use some more ivory to enhance the contrast, always by tapping it in. And then come back with X19, which is some sort of matter that's quite thick, and this will give us a reddish glossy finish on the horns, which will be very nice. I use that highly thinned to give some shine to the scales, tissue and tentacles. This will give some more lights and again some shine to all the flesh and scared skin. As simple as that. Don't hesitate to join me on Facebook. Leave a like or a comment, it's always appreciated. You can also share or talk about the channel to your friends. I will also probably do some 40k games in my gaming section for the pleasure. I think one of them is out as I translate this video, so don't hesitate to check it out even though it's in France. I used then again some more X19, but I tinted it with a darker color. It can be black or anything, just to give it a bit more interest. There I used Sienna Earth, and this will just boost the shadows and give a nice black also, because it will tint it a bit. Thank you again for following me. A special thank you to my patrons. See you all very soon on either Mohand or the Dang de Jeu channel. Thanks, and see you all on the next video. See you all soon.